From Kanto to Paldea, the Pokémon world has been rapidly expanding and giving us new treats every few years. And as the series has progressed, we've seen a change in the Pokémon power scale. From Mewtwo, the hated experiment, to Arceus, the god of all Pokémon, there have been innumerable legendary and mythical Pokémon to grace our screens over the past years. But which of them are truly the most powerful? Could it be the wish-granting Jirachi? Or the essence of the universe, Arceus itself? Well, let's see what the lore of the franchise has to say about them. Number 10. Celebi. Now, we've never seen Celebi throw punches, but this Pokémon has one ability that no other Pokémon in the Pokémon universe has, and that is time travel. Celebi is the only known Pokémon that can time travel currently in the mythos. Introduced in Generation 2, Celebi has the property of omnipresence, which is only possessed by one other Pokémon, and that is the god of Pokémon, Arceus himself. Celebi acts as a sign of the times, and its presence is an assurance to people on the globe that the future is bright. Celebi is also known as the voice of the forest because it can only be found in the calmest of forests. Number 9. Terapagos. Terapagos is a relatively new entry into the Pokémon mythos and was introduced in Generation 9 along with the latest Legendaries, Groudon and Miraidon. But it has a power that not even the god of Pokémon canonically possesses. And that is, Terapagos has the ability to resist the Master Ball. Terapagos, when threatened, changes into its terrestrial form and further into its stellar form after terrestrializing. In this form, Terapagos is said to possess an immense amount of energy, so much so that even when Kirin, the player's rival in the game, throws a Master Ball at Terapagos, it simply destroys it, an ability that we have never seen to date. This is why Terapagos is placed on this list. Number 8. Reshiram and Zekrom. The Tau trio, composed of Reshiram, Zekrom, and Kyurem, is one of the strongest trios in the series, with the trio once existing as a single entity that was used to terraform the Unova region itself. Although split into 3 parts, the activated version of the Tau trio is a formidable weapon of destruction. It's said when the flames and sparks in the tails of Reshiram and Zekrom get strongest, they can change the weather and shift the tides of entire wars and destroy entire nations. If the trio are this strong separately, we can only imagine what the original was like. The awakened forms of the Tau trio are even stronger than their base forms and can defeat most legendaries. Number 7. Xerneas and Yveltal. Xerneas and Yveltal are beings that can control the very essence of life itself. These 2 legendaries were introduced in Pokémon X and Y, and were introduced essentially as the Pokémon who balance the scales of life and death on the planet, with the legendary Pokémon Zygarde keeping a watch over the balance established by the 2. While Xerneas gives eternal life to every being at the end of its life, Yveltal steals the life of every living being as it gets encased in a cocoon at the end of its life. Zygarde, the third of the Aura trio, acts as an intermediary, destroying anything that disrupts or destroys the other 2 legendary roles. Xerneas and Yveltal, being 2 sides of the same coin, are equally matched, but can wreak destruction if awakened prematurely nonetheless. Number 6. Primal, Kyogre, and Groudon. While there are many other Pokémon that may be stronger than Kyogre and Groudon, none possess more danger than these 2 because these 2 have been beefing 24/7 since time immemorial, and there seems to be no end in sight. The 2 are constantly fighting over territory, and with each step each of these legendaries takes, they cover the land with lava or drown it underwater. But the real trouble starts when these 2 revert back to their primal forms, which is when their full potential is unleashed and they wreak absolute havoc not just on each other, but on everything surrounding them as well. Volcanoes explode, tsunamis surge, and the earth itself gives way for these 2 beasts. The only being strong enough to stop these 2 is the sky serpent Rayquaza. Number 5. Mega Rayquaza. Of course, We can't talk about the troublesome siblings without considering their elder brother, who keeps breaking up their fights. While Groudon and Kyogre received primal forms, Mega Rayquaza was given a Mega Evolution to keep up with the duo. Located atop Sky Pillar, Mega Rayquaza is the guardian of the planet and travels across the Earth scanning the horizon for threats. And more often than not, it's Groudon and Kyogre tearing up a storm. But more often than not, Rayquaza ends up stopping entities from outer space from attacking Earth, like the alien Pokémon Deoxys. Rayquaza is capable of single-handedly stopping the Primal duo and is more than strong enough to destroy most legendary Pokémon. Number 4. Mewtwo! Mewtwo can easily beat more than half the legendaries on this list without even lifting a finger. Mewtwo is one of the only man-made legendaries in the Pokémon mythos, and its backstory is one of the more tragic ones, being created from horrible experimentation and cloning using the mythical Pokémon Mew's DNA. This ended up giving Mewtwo a deep existential crisis and a longing to find out who it really is, which in turn makes it very volatile in nature. Mewtwo ended up being an enhanced psychic Pokémon with telekinetic powers that could rival almost any other legendary. But what makes Mewtwo the most dangerous is that Mewtwo is sentient and can adapt to battle, unlike most other legendaries who are beasts. This is why Mewtwo deserves a place on this list. Number 3. Ultra Necrozma. Necrozma is one Pokémon that out-aliens Deoxys. It is hands down one of the strangest Pokémon to be introduced, but don't be fooled. This angular, crystalline being has powers that are nearly as strong as that of Arceus. Necrozma has been confirmed to be powered by light and absorbs the same from dimensions to sustain itself. The problem with this is that Necrozma is capable of stealing the light of entire dimensions if needed, making it a formidable threat. Necrozma is capable of hopping between dimensions as well, leaving worlds in complete darkness. On top of this, the new Z-move attacks are powered by Necrozma, and it has access to a wide array of Ultra Beasts at its disposal. If it weren't for the Creation Trio and their powers, Necrozma would rule supreme, being only second to Arceus. Number 2. The Creation Trio. Of course, it's no surprise that out of all the legendaries in the Pokémon universe, the Creation Trio has to come in second because of their immense power and control over reality itself. Composed of Dialga, Palkia, and Giratina, the three beings represent the fundamental forces: time, space, and antimatter. The Creation Trio are responsible for holding things together in the Pokémon universe and are the direct creations of Arceus. In addition to this, the Creation Trio can also take on their origin forms, which are much more powerful and can pack a powerful punch. The trio have moves specific to them like Roar of Time, Spatial Rend, and Shadow Force that deal a high amount of damage to any Pokémon caught in their vicinity. Number 1. Arceus. Of course, you can't make a power ranking list for Pokémon without putting Arceus at the top. Doing anything else would be a blatant violation of Pokémon canon. Arceus was introduced in Generation 4 as the creator of the Pokémon universe and the god of all Pokémon. Arceus has been a mainstay since that point and has remained on top regardless of crazy additions like Ultra Necrozma. Arceus, although a normal type by default, can cycle through any type using its multi-type ability paired with any of the 18 plates. They can also use any move that a Pokémon can perform, making it the strongest Pokémon. In addition to this, Arceus is also the only Pokémon with access to the Move Judgment, which calls down meteorites, obliterating any Pokémon that stands in its way. Have I mentioned that he created the universe? Because that's what Arceus is capable of.